brief upload is with regard to the issue of human rights violations and the issue of hate crime. When a collective orchestrate a campaign to disrespect a person's good name, it damages a person's livelihood, health, and well being. As I've mentioned, every right in the Declaration of Human Rights has been damaged and disrespected in my personal circumstances. As a teacher with a clean track record, experiencing a lot of injustice and a lot of debasement and denigration and a lot of defamation, it's really serious that individuals with no experience of a person could be so destructive to innocent life. As a humanitarian that has worked with the President's Office and the Duke of Edinburgh office, this situation from a humanitarian perspective is really insulting. As a teacher that has worked with children and adults at home and abroad, the effects on civil society with these kind of circumstances occurring are highly concerning. As a recovery advocate with the fellowship and people being presumptuous and intrusive and laying claim to a person's identity from many perspectives, positions, and stances, it's highly disrespectful for any personal identity or personal space so to be so crudely intruded upon. This has happened in my circumstances unabashedly, and these individuals of this collective have masqueraded themselves as professionals and as stalwarts and as authoritarians, and they have been highly unprofessional and highly disrespectful of the pillars of democracy and humanity. There have been people violating my online data. There have been people of defamatory work, misattributing work that they are responsible for. There have been people trespassing into my personal space and with the intention of harming faith, religion, and thought processes, which is a human right. So my application with the ECHR briefly stipulates these circumstances that have been exacerbated, and these individuals that have been lying and practicing their positions without respect for their ethos and codes of practice are all disrespectful to the profession that they represent. So as an educator of a clean track record that has always worked in the best interests of my students, the situation of defamation and professional and economic and reputational damages are all really serious. So it's 2021 and there are people thinking they're designating and deciding about my rights, and they have absolutely no right to discuss my property, profession, and my family life, especially based on such defamatory, slanderous falsehoods. So I hope the European Court of Human Rights and the United Nations realise that there has been very serious matters caused for a royal humanitarian educator and property owner, married mother in Tralee, County Kerry, Ireland. Those brazening discussions about a person they have no experience of and not respecting the damages that they've caused 10, 15 years ago and avoiding the consequence of their actions and exacerbating their offences is highly insulting to the democracy and the humanitarian role throughout the world. So basically, this upload is with regard to the professional and economic and reputational damages, harms and losses, and also with regard to the issue of medical negligence and doctors disrespecting their Hippocratic oath and intruding upon a private, adult, qualified, competent citizen without any remorse or conscience for their damages to my health. I'm self healing and I am experiencing 3 years without my child that has been harmed and exposed to circumstances he would not have ever been experiencing in my care, and the negligence that has been brought to the attention of the relevant agencies for the past 3 years that has been ignored, and the unlawful actions involved are inexcusable, and the avoidance with the most lame lies is highly disrespectful to young children's lives. So this isn't positive for future generations when a married mother and teacher has experienced what I have experienced. So those obstructing and relaying falsehoods and rewriting their plot for the past 3 years and shifting the goalposts to suit their stories have not helped civil society or progress. So I really hope that the United Nations contacts me directly. My online electronic correspondences have been intruded upon, and my correspondence, hard copies, etc., have all been intruded upon as well. So the isolationist tactic is at play, and I'd appreciate direct communication from the United Nations if possible. My details are on my new Facebook page, and this is an issue of importance due to the issue also of my child unlawfully separated and as a consequence harmed in state care when he should have been in the care of his mother here on this upload, and also the issue of property, creative and intellectual, and the issue of spiritual violence, all the rights in the Declaration basically. So those taking liberties with other people's rights are not lawfully within any right to be imposing or intruding or discussing or negotiating that which they have no right to.